To sell Tony Romo or not to sell Tony Romo? That is maybe a question that we won't get answered anytime soon. Tony Romo is a free agent. Tony Romo is not a free agent. Tony is released. Tony's not released. What's the deal, Cowboys? We can't decide if we want to release Tony or we want to have Tony. What are you doing to this guy? Let this guy go. Let this guy find a team where he can actually maybe do something. Because you don't need him. You got three quarterbacks. Three quarterbacks. And do we need four quarterbacks? No. Maybe he could be a quarterback coach, a advisor of the quarterbacks, um, help out. But if we're not going to use them, why do we have them? I don't get it. Is it just because Jerry Jones just loves this guy and doesn't want to let him go? There's an old saying: if you love something, let it go, and it'll come back to you. But Jerry Jones just doesn't understand that. Tony Romo needs to find another team. Tony Romo did some great stuff for the Dallas Cowboys. Tony Romo made history. He broke records. He got us to the playoffs. He might have not got us to the championship, but that's okay. He has been the best quarterback since Troy Aikman, and I'll say that right now, since Troy Aikman. So, what's the deal? Do you really just have that much love for Tony Romo that you can't let him go? That you can't let him find a team where he might be able to win a championship, or he might not be able to do anything? We don't know. You'll never know if you don't let him go. You gotta let Tony Romo go. It's, it's a thing. I know what Jerry Jones is thinking. He's thinking, I don't want to see Romo in another uniform. I don't want to see Romo in the Houston uniform, maybe a Denver, maybe any kind of NFL uniform. But listen, we have a team that has other problems that we need to worry about. Defensive. We need to worry about defensive stuff. We need to let Tony Romo go, and we need to hope to God we can draft defensive players and fill in the slots that we really need, because if we don't, we're screwed. And this Tony Romo thing is making it even worse, because he needs he did what he did for us, and it was great. I take my hat and, I say, thank you, Romo. Thank you for what you've done for us. Thank you for giving us some of the best moments in Cowboys history. You were the pass leaders. You were the touchdown. You had so many records you broke. But now it's time to show another fan base what you can do. What you can do. And I'm not saying that he's going to win a championship. He might be just out of this world if he gets on another team and just bring a championship home to that team. Or maybe he just plays out his rest of his career and then becomes the analyst for some sports TV station. Well, maybe FSN, or I hope to God not ESPN, or maybe Fox. Now that'd be cool. Him with Terry Bradshaw and everybody, and they're talking like about strategy on how this team is going to do this, and this team is going to do this, and who's going to be the likely team that's going to win this division or this division, because Tony Romo has that intelligence. Tony Romo is the most intelligent quarterback. He studied the game. He studied every aspect of being a quarterback, and that's the coolest thing about Tony Romo. He knows how to be a quarterback. And the sad thing about it is that we didn't get him in his prime. We didn't get him when he was off the charts. Nobody wanted him. And that's the craziest thing. Could you imagine Tony Romo out of college? Holy cow. That would have been one of the greatest quarterbacks performance in years and years to come. Because he would have just been stunning people. Like, where did this quarterback come from? He just came out of college, and who's Tony Romo? I don't know Tony Romo. And if he came out of college right to the Cowboys, he might have even won a championship for us. But that's all just a thought of the situation. But thank you, Tony Romo. But I hope you find a team. I hope the Cowboys release you so you can find your destiny and that championship you so deserve. Or because you know, and I know, you're a Hall of Famer all the way. There's no doubt of that about that. If there was any doubt in anybody's mind about something like that, I don't know what they're thinking. Because there's no way you're not a Hall of Famer. There's no way you're not in the Ring of Honor in the Cowboys Stadium in a few years. So, what are you going to do, Jerry Jones? What are your thing about keeping Tony Romo? Do you want to hold on to that memory, or do you want to progress and bring a championship before you retire? Because I know you want that trophy. We got to look towards the future. I'm not saying Tony Romo's the past. I'm not saying he's anything that's holding back this team. But if you don't release him, then we can never progress to where we need to be. So it's the ball's in your court. Release him. Release that quarterback. Tony Romo. Awesome, radical, cowabunga.